about 3 foot long. I usually measure it on the table. I have a table 1, 2, 3. I cut it just shy of 3 foot. Take this. I usually go through my greens, pick out a couple of good greens that'll be your centerpieces. Use about 4 that are roughly about the same size there, length. That would be for the ends. You start this. You roll this on up. I got 7 holes there that we're overlapping. Make sure that you get this straight, because if you don't, it'll just haunt you the rest of the whole job. And you weave that in and out that hole, right down there. There again, you go to the marks. You want to be, you're on your 2 foot mark. This one's be just shy of 2 foot there. So that's how you measure it. Take that one, get that one started. Put it in there. Check your mark. There's 2 foot. Don't take your center. Make sure that this is all lined up, these holes right here. Then you just put that in there.
So what is that, balsam?
Yeah, this is balsam right here. This is going to be the base. And we need one more long one here. Long enough. And if you have more stick, you can make that stick a lot longer. It'll help sew this in, but we'll sew this shut later. Then you take that, flip it over, push down the center. Take your other ones I've been saving for the centers. These are generally just a little bit longer than that other one. Stick it in there, push it down, bring it up in. Now this is kind of the important deal here too. Pick that green up. Those first 2 that you put in there, and put it on top of that, and that will hold that down. Otherwise, the thing's going to stick up in the air. We'll do it again, and the same thing on this. Pin it in, just a little bit longer, pull them over the top, and then you can see where you need. Now you got a couple little corners. I'll pinch those down. You can kind of see where you want to go in there. I'll use some shorter stuff on these ends now, and I get those sewed up. This is basically what I always refer to it as a sewing. And don't throw these little pieces away yet. You can either use those for wreaths later on, or I'll show you on later on when we go to start do the bottom of it. You can use up a lot of that. And I'll use off-colored greens too, because you always have your colorblind greenery cutters, and they don't always bring you greens that are tip-top in the colors. So there, you got that sewed up a little bit. Grab the screen, and I usually pull it in 2 different places right there. Come over here. And all that does, it just brought that center up a little bit higher, and made you something more that when you go poking stuff in here later on the sides, it'll accept it a little bit better. Now, I usually start these and I put them in at an angle. That branch really didn't want to fit on there, so we're going to put it over on this side and just bring it on up. That one is a good center right there. Another angle one. These guys are just on a little bit angle. This one was the only one that was straight on out. And then the other ones go at an angle. I'll flip that around so I'll build it so that you can see it on that side. There. That's your center. That's an angle there. Another one at an angle. And you don't have to worry about putting these things in solid yet, because we're going to have a lot more greens going in here, and you got to have room to put them in there. So then, you get that going. What I like to do is leave some with some greenery on there. Pull out the leaves, of course. But put those on in there, and they'll kind of hold themselves in there up a little bit. Put this other one in there. Kind of weave them in there a little bit. And get them to stick in there, and they'll stick up a little bit. And and then you can build off of that. Because if you start out here, everything just wants to lay down because it has no base for it to push up against. But you can put one in there. Save the little pieces for where they got to go. Put the big pieces. You want to make sure you use some bigger pieces out here on this outer edge to get the volume and the height that you want to get. Otherwise, this thing can look kind of flat. You don't want to do that. All right. Coming together a little bit here. Pull that side around there, let you see that side. You can see where it's still kind of bearish, but you can always fill more in. If you fill up all the holes, then you can't stick what you want to stick in there. Yeah, this one's a little tight, a little tall. I think that's filling in. We're filling in enough anyways. Got a few extra bare holes there. I'm going to pop a couple of things in. Just to green it up a little bit more. So you basically got about the same amount of fill throughout the whole thing. I'll get some blue spruce here. Add some up here. There's some nice ones. What you want to do is the little pieces you want to keep like that. You want at least 2 big ones that are nice, that can get into that arrangement, just about like that are same size. So when you take those and you stick them in here, you know that they're about the same size and they're going to be sticking out about the same all the way around. Then you can start with these other pieces. Really like blue spruce, but you better be wearing some good gloves because it'll make you bleed, make you do the owie owie dance.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, there again, put the blue spruce in somewhat sparse. You can always come back and put some more in because we're still going to be adding some Scots pine to this yet. And, I don't know if you see how I grab the greens. I'm kind of actually measuring this a little bit. When you put it down here by the table, you know how much of this needs to go in, how much needs to be stuck out. It kind of comes natural to me, but I've done enough of these. So, there again, kind of got the blue spruce kind of equally interspersed out there. We're missing a few areas where you could use a couple pieces of balsam. Now we're going to go with some Scots pine. And there again, try to find 2 pieces that are about, they kind of look the same length and everything. To start off, I always start off right on that end, right where I started off with them 2 pieces of blue spruce. And there's the hole. Yeah, I lost the piece I wanted. Right there. Huh. Anyway, stick it in there. And then you just start filling in.
You don't fill every single hole.
No, but you want to intersperse this. grouping going, you know, just in between to fill in. So, a lot easier doing it this way. And I just want to have enough out there showing to give you, so you don't bunch it all up and have it showing too much at one time, you know, or too much in one area. I still got that one little bare area right there. It must be difficult. And this thing had a couple of little white tags where I busted the things. You get in there, got them little white tags out of there. They show like a little sore thumb there. But, I just weave this through here, you know, every so often. There is a method to my madness. These ones out in the end where when I start building that frame are at an angle going in, and you want them at an angle coming out. Because you don't want them to be coming out here straight looking, and it just won't look natural to you. Well, that's starting to fill in pretty nicely. See your nice little white end sticking out here again. I'm going to try to hide him. And I'll just put a little balsam in the spots I need it. And another little white end, cut him out of there. Fill in a couple of spots here. I'm going to call her good. Now, that's done. And what I do is I flip it over, and you got this back end right here. And there again, I usually save greens that aren't colored. You see how that's sticking up there? Make sure you can just start sewing that shut. I usually like to put a couple of longer pieces down on this end, and there again, when you get out towards the end, or the edge there, angle that out just a little bit so it's natural, and it's kind of covering everything in there. And, you know, all we're trying to do is cover up this fencing here, which is 1-inch chicken wire. It's just for covering. You don't really have to do it, but I don't want people poking themselves on the wire. It also makes it look a little thicker. It fills in that back and keeps all the other branches from moving around. And if this is garbage greens, it's a good place to get rid of some of your garbage, you know, unless you got to haul away. Mm-hmm. But you don't want to use too dry of greens, but you will, if you're doing very much of this, you'll get some off-color greens, and a good place to get rid of those, because most of the time it doesn't show, and or like on the balsam, it might be off-color deep into the branch, but out on the tip it's still pretty good. So, and I just weave it shut, and nobody knows how this is made then, too. So one of the other options, I guess, or one of the other probabilities as to why I do it this way. I used to make them on the flat chicken wire, but they were flat. They were 4 inches tall if you were lucky, and then when it snowed, it would flatten them right on out, where this stays upright, gives you a little height. You see where I need a couple more pieces there, and we're going to call this good. And I send it to my decorator and let them do it. So, and let them get their hands picked for a while. But you can make this out of a lot of different greens. I have made it out of with cedar. I really like the blue spruce because it mixes in there. This is the Scots pine, and this is like a half-round balsam. And but you can use a variety of different greens, and it all comes together and decorate in a wide variety. I think that we decorate, the best that I've ever seen. I've seen some of the stuff on the internet, and it's kind of cheesy. But
Yeah.
they saw a lot of them. We saw a lot of these, and it doesn't take that long. I don't know how many minutes I got into this.
15.
15 minutes. So there you go. You decorate it up and send them on out. So and you can pick these up right on by the bottom like that, and you shouldn't have anything come out. So we'll throw
Perfect.
it on the ground, and we'll square up the edges and make sure that everything's good.
Perfect.
All right.